Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you from the Emirates Stadium press box. I hope all is well. It's a big game, isn't it? Here we are, what are we now, what's the time? Half an hour away from kickoff here. And I will quickly just show you the scene over there. The teams are out warming up in front of me. For some reason, when I went to start this video, I can't do it on landscape. It seems to be locking on portrait, which is weird because that never normally happens. And I'm so rubbish when it comes to technology, I can't work out how to fix it. So I might have to hold my phone for you to watch the warm-ups today, rather than have it in the tripod I got here, which I always do it in landscape. So I don't know why. Anyway, don't really want to hear about that. So the big news, obviously you'd have heard about it, I reported it earlier on the way up here. Thomas Partey injured today, he's not involved. Arsenal saying it's a muscular problem. Hammer blow to Arsenal, no doubt about it. Partey trained yesterday. So we'll see what Mikel Arteta says afterwards. Arsenal are saying it's a precaution, but you'd imagine if it's a muscle injury, it's certainly going to rule him out of this weekend, maybe next weekend as well. But more importantly, it rules him out tonight, and this is a huge game for Arsenal. And I think the one player you did not want to lose is Thomas Partey. We don't know yet if it's a thigh. I've heard thigh, but I've also heard a hamstring. So we'll see what Mikel says afterwards, see if he can clear it up completely about what the actual injury is. But yeah, it's a massive blow to lose Thomas Partey this close to this game. I don't think there's a more important player in this Arsenal team than Thomas Partey. So I mean, it's a massive night for Jorginho, and you think he's got the experience to come in here and not be fazed by the occasion. He's played in these sort of games plenty of times before. He's played in the biggest games under the most huge amounts of pressure before, and he's dealt with it well. So that's not going to be an issue. The occasion's not going to be an issue. But it's his first start for his new club, and it's not exactly the easiest opposition to come in and do that against. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be enough. Hopefully he can perform and Arsenal can still get the result they need here, but there's no doubt it's a massive blow. Elsewhere, the big news, Tomiyasu is preferred to Ben White at right back. Not majorly surprising that, just because Mikel likes to play Tomiyasu in the big games. We know that, he's done it before this season. And Ben White has not been in the best of form recently, although I thought he was pretty good against Brentford. It was his best performance in a while. But Tomiyasu comes in for this one, and he'll be up against Jack Grealish on that side, so that'll be an interesting battle as well. Elsewhere, the team is as you would expect. Manchester City pretty much at full strength. Haaland starts as expected. I know there was a bit of doubt before him, but I think we all knew that he was going to start, and he does. Grealish and Mahrez are the wingers, which again we expected because of the form they've been in, and Nathan Ake starts at left back, which again we kind of expected, and he played very well in the FA Cup game against Arsenal. So they're the team news. Let me see if I've flicked this over now. Again, I might have to hold this, which I apologise for, because it means you're going to have to watch it with really shaky hands, because when I try and do that, it says orientation is locked, and I have no idea how to not have orientation locked. If anyone can tell me, then please do. But Arsenal all the way in the distance there, going through their usual pre-match routine at the moment with the rondos. Is Man City. iOS sign. I imagine I can't unlock it while I'm actually filming though. I'm guessing I probably needed to do it before I started, didn't I? Swipe down from the top and take authorization. Oh, sorry. Apologies. No, see, I think it's a YouTube thing. I don't think it's an iPhone orientation. I think it's a YouTube settings that I've managed to muck up there on orientation. Anyway, I can't be bothered to muck about a bit now. You just have to watch it like this to answer some of your questions. I don't... It's going to be all questions about iOS now, isn't it? I don't think it's an iOS thing. I think it's a YouTube settings thing for some reason. My orientation is not locked on my iOS. I've just checked. Rodri centre-back. Yes, I think Rodri is playing as a centre-back for Man City. I haven't actually looked too much at their team, to be honest. They got Walker. I mean, it's probably going to be a 3, isn't it? It's going to be a midfield, 3 at the back, and then... No, I think it'll be 3 at the back. Walker, Diaz and Ake. Rodri will probably be in midfield, won't he? Where do we think our weak areas are today, says REH? I mean, look, I think Jorginho's going to be... He's on a bit of a hide into nothing tonight, Jorginho, I think, isn't he? Because I think even if he plays well and Arsenal lose, then everyone's going to point the finger of blame at Jorginho, which feels really harsh, but it kind of feels like that might be the case. I think what's going to be key with Jorginho there, because he hasn't got the legs of Thomas Partey, we know that. He hasn't got the speed of recovery if he gets turned, just because of his lack of pace. So I think what's going to be key for that, Xhaka's going to need to support him a lot, I think, and I also think Zinchenko, when he drops into that midfield position, which we know he loves to do, I think that's going to be really important that he also covers the lack of pace for Jorginho. I think where you look at where Arsenal could have a bit of success, I think if you get Saka on the ball quickly, you feed him when he's in space and he can isolate Ake, I really feel like he can have a good go at him there. I thought Ake played really well in the FA Cup game, but still, if Arsenal can get the ball to him quickly and move the ball quickly, which I think they will do tonight. You know, they haven't done it really recently against Everton and Brentford, but that's because of the kind of tactics that both those teams play. City aren't going to play like that. There's going to be lots of space here for Arsenal, and if they move the ball quickly, I think certainly down the wings that Martinelli and Saka can get a lot of joy that way. What do you want to see from Eddie tonight? I want to see a couple of goals. That'd be nice. But I just want to see him play well. I think Eddie's got some unfair flack the last couple of games. You know, it's not really been his fault that Arsenal come up against teams like that. And it's hard you can't compare him to Jesus. You really can't. They're very different sort of players. So it's really hard to criticise someone for not being Gabriel Jesus. You know, it's just not his fault that he's not the type of player to drop deeper and to drag players out of position. It's not. It's going to be absolutely bouncing in here atmosphere-wise today. Obviously lots of empty seats at the moment. Everyone's outside and necking a couple of beers, but I think it's going to be absolutely bouncing in here very, very soon. My dad has just texted me, "Where are you?" which means he's obviously arrived. Oh yeah, I can see him all the way over there. See my dad sitting right underneath the O in Tours. He's just arrived there on the end of that row of 4 people. That's my dad over there. No wave to Mr. Watts. To do my pre-match wave when I finish recording this. Morning, Leon from Australia. Hope you're well. Oliver, how does the energy feel in the stadium? I mean, there's not much energy in here at the moment, I'll be honest with you. It's pretty quiet, lots of empty seats, but it's going to be massive soon. Hi, Karan from India.
Oh, hi, nice to see you, alright? Somebody's in my seat, I think.
Got injured in training, JC, Partey. Yesterday, final training session.
This is row 4, isn't it? Get him out of this. Seat 17.
Shooting practice going on at the moment. It always makes me laugh watching this shooting practice how bad everyone is normally in this. Zinchenko. It'd be nice if Zinchenko scored his first Arsenal goal today, wouldn't it? Not a bad club to do it against. Let's see what Man City are doing. See if they've got their shooting boots on. Gundogan. It's the Drummond new. He's been here all season. He's part of the Ashburton Army, which are over there behind the goal. That group there. It's the Ashburton Army. It's done a lot to really improve the atmosphere here. And yeah, the guy at the front's got his drum there.
Sorry. I'll just wait for Dave. Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind. I'm not proud.
So how nervous is everyone then? Out of a rating of 1 to 10, how nervous are you? If anyone puts less than 7, then I want your calmness. So I'm on about 15 at this point, I think. It's games like this that I really wish. I love my job so much. And I know I'm very lucky to do it. But I tell you what, it's games like this that I wish I was over there, sat next to my dad, a few pints in by now, to take the edge off it. It's very hard having to sit in a press box in games like this and not be able to release the emotion and the energy of and the nerves. Ryan, about Thomas, we just know it's a muscle injury. Arsenal haven't said any more than that at the moment. They're saying it's just a precaution. He's got a tight muscle. I've heard thigh, but I've also heard hamstring, so I don't know. I couldn't say for certain. We'll see what Mikel says afterwards. I'm not sure, Ryan, how long he'll be out for again. I'd just be speculating if I put any time frame on it. Arsenal players heading in now. All heading back to the tunnel, I would show you, but James Bench is blocking the view. Right, I'm going to head off now, guys. I'm going to go and get myself a coffee before this starts. Wherever you're watching it around the world, enjoy it. see what happens, shall we? Speak to you soon.